And we welcome you back to continuing coverage of the 2019 Wisconsin High School Bowling State Championships from the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley just outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Jesse Nelson of ESPN Wisconsin alongside Craig Elliott of Bowlstream TV. We welcome those of you watching online for our state championships for the girls team competition this morning. Craig, it's one of our favorite events on the entire calendar for any sport being here for the Wisconsin High School Bowling State Championship. Special thanks to Liz Johnson, who was here on behalf of Storm for our singles competition. That was a ton of fun. We saw a 300 game from Kyle Hintz of Amherst earlier, and now the team competition, it's about to get loud.
You know, this is, as you mentioned, Jesse, one of the funnest events of the year, and it's nice of Liz to keep my seat warm for me this morning. So thank you, Liz Johnson, for helping us out on the call this morning. But this is team. This is Baker. This is what, to me, team bowling is all about, getting these Baker formats. And you'll see today it's all about momentum. It doesn't matter if you lose that first game by 50 pins. We've seen some pretty impressive comebacks through the years here, and this being, I believe, our 5th year here at the Wisconsin High School Championships on the live stream.
For those of you unfamiliar, the Baker format for Wisconsin High School Bowling's state championship for the team portions of the competition. There will be 5 bowlers in a lineup. The first bowler will bowl the first frame and the 6th frame, 2-7, 3-8, 4-9, 5-10, all the way through. That 5-10 bowler known as the anchor bowler. Also, substitutions are allowed, but once a bowler is substituted, they cannot re-enter the lineup. So once your substitution is made, you are out. The new bowler is in. These team competitions will be 2-game cumulative scores. We'll introduce the teams coming up here in just a moment as we do so for the fans in attendance here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley as well. I want to thank the Bowling Centers Association of Wisconsin and the USBC for putting on this event today. I mentioned our great sponsors that have been here all weekend as well, Storm, Classic Products, and Pepsi. Craig, this is a great event that can't come true without those great sponsors.
It is. Sponsors make this happen. A lot of hard work by Yvonne Bennett and the whole crew at the BCAW. I mean, this event's already in planning for next year before this year's even over. It's a great event. A lot of scholarship money up for grabs, as we heard towards the close of our singles championships. It's not just about the state title, but some college money for these bowlers as they move on in their bowling career, hopefully, and bowl at the collegiate level.
It would be great to see the team competition. As you'll hear momentarily, 5 of the 6 teams bowling this morning for the girls team competition across Division 1 and 2 were in this same spot last year, bowling in the TV finals on this championship Sunday. The seedings have changed a little bit from a year ago, but to have almost everybody back from last season is really cool to see the rivalries begin to renew here at the state championship.
So Monona Grove, is that the new team this year?
Monona Grove is the new team, and they finished 4th in last year's competition. So they just narrowly missed being in the TV final. So you've really got teams that are used to sustained success, coming into this championship round here today. Practice just about to wrap up. We will make our opening announcements, introduce the teams. As I mentioned, it's about to get loud for this team competition. The fans are about 4 or 5 deep behind us here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Lanes 5 and 6 will be host to the Division 1 finals. Lanes 7 and 8 on the right-hand side will be our host for the Division 2 finals.
And we appreciate everybody tuning in to the live stream here on YouTube. Don't forget now, before we get started, hit that share button at the bottom of your screen. Give us a thumbs up, put this out there on your social media pages, and really pump up those numbers and help us showcase this great high school bowling here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Wisconsin High School Bowling Girls Team State Championships. Want to thank the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley for hosting the competition here all weekend long. Also the Bowling Centers Association of Wisconsin and the USBC. Also our great sponsors for this weekend, Storm, Classic Products, and Pepsi. Let's give a round of applause for all of our hosts and sponsors this weekend. Five of the 6 teams competing this morning in the team finals were here last year on Championship Sunday. Let's meet the Division II competitors here this morning. On lane 7, the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. They'll be taking on the number 2 seed on lane 8, the Amherst Falcons. And waiting in the wings, the number 1 seed, the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. And in Division I, on lane 5, the Oshkosh West Wildcats. On lane 6, the number 2 seed, Sun Prairie Cardinals. And waiting in the wings, the number 1 seed, Kenosha Tremper Trojans. Let's get loud, everybody. Good luck and good scores to all the competitors this morning, and welcome to the Wisconsin High School Bowling State Championship Sunday Finals.
That's one of the funnest parts, I think, this event kicks off, is you can hear some of the chants from these teams here as they get ready to go. Almost that softball type feel, and you'll hear a lot of noise. There's times we won't be able to hear ourselves talk here, Jesse, this afternoon here in Green Bay.
This is the most amped up these bowlers have been all season long, obviously with everything on the line. You start with practices in the fall, you go through your early season matches, you improve, you maybe change some equipment around, and it all comes down to the state championship weekend here in Ashwaubenon, and then it comes down to the championships after all the hard work you put in over the course of the last 2 days, just getting here to this competition. Finally now it comes down to these couple of Baker games. Just 20 frames separate third from second, and then second from first. As we're underway on lane 8, the first ball belongs to the Amherst Falcons, and it is an 8 count as we begin.
As we talked with Liz a little bit earlier, the big difference now, momentum and getting pumped up is a big key in Baker, whereas the singles, you want to be a little more even keel.
Amherst with a spare over on lane 8. We've got a single pin spare opportunity on lane 6. That's for the Sun Prairie Cardinals. We'll see if they can convert.
And as you're watching, you'll notice it's tough to get back and forth. These girls are going so fast. We'll get as many shots as we can. But it's just rapid fire now. Get out there and go.
And I stand corrected, actually, Craig. Sun Prairie in the black and red uniforms. They're starting this competition on lane 5. So they'll switch after game 1 of this Baker format. Finish on lane 6. Oshkosh West, their opponent, starting on 6. They'll finish on 5. Monona Grove starting on 7, finishing on 8. Amherst starting on 8, finishing on 7. As the Silver Eagles of Monona Grove with a strike after an open frame in the first. As we're underway in the Division II matchup. Monona Grove out of District 4 in the Madison area. Sun Prairie also out of District 4. Both finishing first and second respectively. Sun Prairie first, Monona Grove second. Both in action right now. So District 4 represented well here in the girls team finals today. Monona Grove averaging as a team a 174 per game on the year. Amherst just a 160, but finishing in first place in their district, District 9. And then, of course, there's Oshkosh West finishing second place in District 8A to Kaukauna with a team average of 178. So pretty evenly matched teams. Amherst has been a team that's been in this state championship round a number of times. They are the 3-time defending state champions, Craig. So we've done this for 5 years now together. 3 of the 4 times previously, Amherst has gone home with the big championship trophy.
So you like their chances, is that what you're saying? How many seniors back this year?
Let's take a look here. We've got for Amherst. Let me track down my notes. I'll let you know, Craig. We've got two seniors, 2 juniors, and a freshman in the lineup for Amherst today. So pretty experienced, but still building for the future at the same time.
You'll see some of the girls that were in the singles competition earlier in these team events as well. No surprise that solid teams bring competitors in all divisions here today.
Last year,
Unanimous 10-pin.
Kenosha Tremper won the Division I competition over Oshkosh West. Sun Prairie finished in third. So this semifinal is actually an exact rematch of last year. Oshkosh West and Sun Prairie with a chance to move on and face Kenosha Tremper. Last year for the Division II finals, we had Beaver Dam fall to Manawa, and then Manawa lost to Amherst as the Falcons won the state title. Monona Grove, the only team that didn't reach the TV finals last year of this field right now in front of us, they finished in fourth, losing to Beaver Dam in the stepladder the night before. So they were still right there. You just didn't see them on Bullstream TV.
And they get the defending champs right away.
Yeah, congratulations on making it this far.
Thanks for coming.
Let's take a look at the scores here as we're about midway through our first games. Again, 2-game cumulative total here for the team competition. Amherst has been perfect. Well, I just jinxed her. Anchor bowler misses with a single pin, 10-pin spare. It goes into the gutter on the right side, so that's a 95 total through 5 frames for the Amherst Falcons. Monona Grove 2 opens in the first 4 frames, but a strike in the 5th trying to set something up here. Continuing on, a 10-pin rings on lane 7. That's the Division II semifinal. Meanwhile, in Division I, Sun Prairie over on our far left lane. That's lane 5 this morning. They're working on a split, which was left open in the 4th frame. A 9 count to start the 5th. Big cheer from the Amherst fans sitting right behind us. Craig, how do we always end up sitting right next to the Amherst fans?
Well, because they're here every single year.
I guess that would do it. There's more of them. That makes sense. Oshkosh West, meanwhile, had an open frame in the 3rd, so a pretty evenly matched contest. 68-67 totals through 4 frames. Sun Prairie with a 1-pin lead over Oshkosh West.
And this is a different lane pattern than what we saw in the singles. You'll notice you get a lot later friction. Balls are going a lot longer down lane before they pick up and read and make that turn to the pocket. And I think, as we've seen already, that's going to make a little tougher on some of those spares that these ladies are shooting at.
It's been a big weekend, Craig, for Sun Prairie Athletics. The girls basketball team competed in the sectional final yesterday, falling to one of their rivals in the Madison area, Middleton, going on to state. But then the boys last night in a regional final defeated Madison Memorial en route to a big win there, getting to the sectional semifinal, trying to get back to their second straight state tournament in boys basketball. And now the bowling state championships here. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had the state swimming championships, wrestling championships. 'Tis the season for all of these winter sports state titles across the state of Wisconsin.
Wait, so they have swimming in the winter in Wisconsin?
They do, yes. It's indoors.
I hope so.
Come on, Texas guy.
I sure hope it is.
We talk about many of these bowlers being multi-sport athletes, obviously not the other winter sports. It'd be hard to be a swimmer and a bowler at the same time, but a lot of these bowlers either are members of football teams, cross-country, soccer, softball as you get into the spring. So it's a really nice second sport for a lot of these athletes. For many, though, it's their primary sport. We love the action that it brings, the drama that it brings in these state championships. This is the culmination of so much work and effort for all of these young athletes to get to this state title, to get to Championship Sunday, and to be competing on this stage.
A really close opening game here between Sun Prairie and Oshkosh. This is 2-game total pins. Baker, they will switch lanes for game 2, both a spare conversion here. You got to watch that 9-pin in the back for Oshkosh. That's a tough one here. Nicely done, just a 1-pin match early on.
Oshkosh West on the season, 40% spare conversion, 74% fill overall. Sun Prairie, 80% fill on the year. So you'll see if that percentage difference could come into play. It could be the difference between 2 or 3 opens in a game, and ultimately that could be the difference in your total pin count for the entire series.
And a 3-10 conversion for Amherst gives them a nice little lead here into the end of game number 1.
Monona Grove trying to take down the juggernaut. Amherst, the 3-time defending state champions in Division II here at the Wisconsin High School Bowling Girls Team State Championships. Tough washout here. It's the old 1-2-4-10 for Amherst over on lane 8 on your far right side. Monona Grove capitalizes. That's now back-to-back strikes as they get into the 10th frame. We thought that Amherst had a commanding lead. Silver Eagles right back in it, though, for Monona Grove. Tough spare on the right side is good in the D1 semifinal for Oshkosh West. They've been good at converting spares here in the latter half of this match. Just 1 open thus far for the Wildcats. And then you've got Sun Prairie with just the 1 open as well in frame number 4. And that was coming out of a split. So single pin spares have been going down for the majority across the board in these semifinals.
And a big opening from Amherst now. Monona Grove can get up here and really take a nice little lead.
The Monona Grove Silver Eagles finishing in second place in District 4 to Sun Prairie. And there's 3 in a row. That's a turkey. Max 183 for Monona Grove. Max 186 if Amherst can strike out. Both of these semifinals looking like they're going to be real tight here down the stretch.
A missed 10-pin and now a 4-9 for the Yankee Bowler for Amherst.
No.
Just to recap, people out there watching, if you're new to the Baker format, it's a 5-person team. Each player bowls 2 frames to make 1 game score. We'll bowl 2 full games, add up the total, and that's the winner who will advance into the next round.
How about Monona Grove? 4 strikes in a row to close it out for a total of 183. Right when we thought they were in trouble against the 3-time defending state champs, Monona Grove pulls through. And after back-to-back opens in frames 9 and 10, Amherst actually trailing by 18. Excuse me, wow, I'm all choked up about it, Greg. 183 to 165. Monona Grove leads Amherst as they turn to game number 2. It's a 176 with an open in the 10th frame for Sun Prairie in the D1 semifinal, game number 1. And a strike from Oshkosh West to start the 10th frame means they can strike again and actually have a lead if they can keep it on the lane then for the final ball.
And this is where you see some of the strategy. They got the first one in the 10th. Looks like Samantha's going to throw one more, but why not get another girl off the bench? Let's throw one shot on the fill if they have that opportunity just for a different look possibly, and when you might need to sub that person in the next game.
Samantha Munch was one of the finalists earlier today in our singles competition from Oshkosh West. Samantha finished in 5th place in that singles competition. Props to her on a great job all weekend long with both the team and singles competition. That's a lot of bowling for a high school athlete, Craig, in one weekend. That's 6 individual games plus 15 team Baker games, plus if they had to come back last night and play, which they did, they won 2 games as a team last night as the number 5 seed in the team step ladder to get here. So a lot of high-pressure bowling for Samantha Munch and all of her Oshkosh West teammates.
And this is the point here now where the coaching really comes into a pretty important part as they switch lanes. The coaches are watching what happened game 1, but they also have to watch what the opponents were doing so they know how to get them lined up here in game 2. So a 182 finish, Oshkosh West in a 6-pin lead.
Sun Prairie trails by 6, 182-176. Monona Grove leads by 18, 183-165 over the 3-time defending champion Amherst Falcons as we turn to game 2 of our girls team championships at the Wisconsin High School Bowling Club State Championship Sunday here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Jesse Nelson of ESPN Wisconsin along with Craig Elliott of Fullstream TV. Our 5th year together, Craig, working this competition. One of our favorite events of the year. We love it.
Sorry I didn't get anything for our anniversary present. I apologize.
I got you something
What
really
is
good.
5 years? What is 5? Is it like aluminum? Or?
You think I'm supposed to know?
How about a water? Plastic. 5.
Thank you, yes.
You're welcome. Happy
Water bottle,
anniversary.
yes. I love it. That's what I've always wanted. Oshkosh West with a ringing 10-pin to begin their second match. West with a lead by 6 over Sun Prairie. The Oshkosh West Wildcats, coached by Carly Bolter. Sun Prairie, coached by Cher and John Brunig. That's the matchup over on lane 5 and 6. Division 1 semifinals. Meanwhile, Monona Grove and Amherst. Monona Grove Silver Eagles, coached by Dave Gunterberg and Phil Dowling. Amherst, coached by Steve Sislevich and Jason Glodowski.
How about that? Quick 4-bagger. Monona Grove keeping that lead.
Well, that's one way. If you got an 18-pin lead heading into the second game, one way to step on the gas is to start with 4 in a row. And remember, they finished with 4 in a row to finish game 1, so that's actually 8 strikes consecutively for Monona Grove. stringing strikes together is how you advance in this competition. You got to make spares when they present themselves, but strikes are really where you make your money. Amherst with an open in the second frame. That's going to be trouble for the Falcons. The rain may be over. Big strike for Sun Prairie on lane 6 as they now take a slight advantage. We're just about dead even in that cumulative score between Oshkosh West and Sun Prairie in the semifinal. Winner of the D1 semifinal between the Wildcats and Cardinals will move on to face Kenosha Tremper, the defending Division I state champions. Monona Grove and Amherst, winner of that one, will move on to face the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. They finished in 3rd place last year at the state competition held in Wausau.
And remember that roll 2 pin that Oshkosh just got there. That could be very, very helpful at the end of this game with that just a small 6-pin lead going into game 2. And an open frame from Amherst again.
Back-to-back opens for the Falcons, already trailing by 18 coming into it. Monona Grove clean through 5, including 4 straight strikes. Make it now another strike to get the streak potentially going again. The Silver Eagles look like they're on their way to the state championship match.
I think, Jess, you have to call this a definite upset, even though Monona Grove was 4th last year. They were close to making this show. But Amherst, as we mentioned, I mean, they're the powerhouse in this division.
3-time defending Division II state champion Amherst Falcons on the ropes. Oshkosh West working on 2 in a row, make it 3 after a strike on lane 5. The Wildcats putting the pressure on Sun Prairie. We know the Sun Prairie Cardinal bowling program, boys and girls, Craig, to be one of the powerhouses across the entire state as well.
And the country.
Yes.
Actually.
Making a national appearance last year. That's one of the reasons why. A big strike in the 4th. Dutch through 4 for Sun Prairie. They're going to need more than that, though, to come back against Oshkosh West. Make it 4 straight strikes now for the Wildcats on lane 5.
We talk momentum. Oshkosh rolls that 2 in the 3rd frame, then rattles off a 4-bagger, taking advantage of that really, really quick. And that's what's going to happen here in these Baker formats and a ring 10 for Sun Prairie.
Monona Grove, meanwhile, clean through 7 over on lane 8.
And this is a must-make for Amherst. 3, 6, 7, 10.
Let's see it.
Yep.
That's going to come up heavy. And that's another open frame, the 3rd through 5 frames for the 3-time defending state champions. Ten-pin missed by Sun Prairie on lane 6. Tough break for the Cardinals through 5 frames, a total of 88. And remember, they trailed by 6 coming into this match, so they have to win this by 7 or more if they want to advance. I mean, mathematically speaking here, Oshkosh West with 6 in a row, they can almost clinch it here.
Yeah, they've got about a 70-pin lead with just a few frames to go. It's going to be tough for Sun Prairie to fight back in that one, just like Amherst here. Amherst needs to have every single strike. Oh, my goodness.
They cannot catch a break over on lane 7. Monona Grove with an open in the 8th. It may be too little too late for Amherst if they can't capitalize, but it keeps it within striking distance of striking distance. Let's take a check in here on Division 1. 6 in a row streak snapped in the 9th frame for Oshkosh West with 3 in the middle. It's a difficult spare.
Yeah, and that the D2 game is over. There's nothing Amherst can do to fight back now. The 18-pin lead for Monona Grove after game 1 and their big string of strikes here in game 2. They've got them mathematically eliminated. So a couple frames to try a few different things out here from Monona Grove as they will bowl in that title match.
And this is an opportunity for the Amherst coaches to go ahead and get some bowlers in who weren't a part of the starting lineup, get some final shots if they have any reserves sitting on the bench, get a chance to bowl in the state semifinal match on Championship Sunday here on Bullstream TV.
So 218 the max for Sun Prairie. They would need to shoot 225 and they can't do it.
Here's a big shot for Oshkosh West, a strike to start the 10th. Max out 253. And you're right, Craig, Sun Prairie's out of this.
That's it. We've got them both done early, which is usually it's a little different. Usually these go right down to the 10th frame, but both these matches. Then, would you call the Sun Prairie one an upset as well?
I would.
Yeah.
I would, especially because Oshkosh West had to win 2 games last night in this stepladder competition. They just got in as the number 5 seed in the team finals in Division I. They defeated West Bend West by a score of 401 to 365 over 2 games in the first portion of the stepladder last night, and then they edged out Janesville Parker 382 to 360 in match number 2 to get here to the semifinals. Now to beat Sun Prairie, that's a big upset. Oshkosh West going to be facing Kenosha Tremper in the girls' state championship match. And it'll be Monona Grove and Beaver Dam.
Well, how about this statement? In the 250s for Oshkosh West.
Well, and you see in both games here, similar storylines, Oshkosh West and Monona Grove with slight leads coming into game 2, stringing together strikes in game number 2. That's the big key to really putting your foot on the gas, not leaving any doubt. You get one open frame, you get one split, and it can throw off the entire course of the game. It can add pressure to all your teammates and yourself, and we saw that happen to Amherst and Sun Prairie playing from behind.
Definitely not the last time we're going to see the Sun Prairie group, boys or girls, here in our state finals. They'll be back next year, no doubt. A very strong program. And the same for Amherst. Not the finish they look for, but how about the last few years they've had?
It's been absolutely incredible.
There's girls on this team, the seniors, that it's their first loss in the state final. That's pretty impressive.
That's unbelievable to think about. There's a streak here in Wisconsin high school football, the Kimberly Papermakers, 5-time defending state.
What?
The Papermakers. The Papermakers of
All right.
Kimberly, yes.
It's an interesting nickname.
You laugh about it. They're 5-time defending state football champions.
I won't laugh in their face, that's for sure.
But that was until this year when my Muskego Warriors won their first ever state football championship, taking down Kimberly. But you talk about streaks, dynasties, it happens at the high school level across many different sports, including Wisconsin high school bowling. It was a dynasty 3 years in a row for Amherst, which has come to an end today. The Falcons eliminated a third-place finish after a 148 paired with a 165 in their final. It's a 218 for Sun Prairie as they go home with a third-place finish as well.
And a solid finish for Sun Prairie. The back 5 for 218, nothing to hang their heads about. Another good, solid year, finishing third in the state. Well done. So we're getting ready for the championship matches here, Girls Division I and Division II from the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley here in Green Bay. Back with it next.
ball on each lane.
They might have it on for that end right now.
I think they should know it. We'll be fine. Now, if you want to, you can. Okay, thank you.
Incoming teams onto the lanes for the girls' state championship match. Each bowler gets one ball. One ball on the lane. No regrets allowed. One ball for every new player of teams just coming onto the lanes. No regrets.
I'm okay. Where's the bar? You sure you didn't find it already? We're good with the mic like that if you want to try that.
Looks like practice is over. Jesse Nelson, who we got here in our championship matches?
Yeah, welcome back to our continuing coverage on Bowl-Stream TV of the Wisconsin High School Bowling Girls Team State Championships from the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley in just outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name is Jesse Nelson from ESPN Wisconsin, alongside Craig Elliott of Bowl-Stream TV. The Division II Championship, seen on the right side of the lanes, is featuring the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, the number 4 seed in this stepladder final, who just defeated the 3-time defending champion Amherst Falcons, taking on the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. The number 1 seed finished 3rd a year ago. So Monona Grove, Beaver Dam, both located in the greater Madison area. Monona Grove very close to Madison, just a suburb outside of the city to the south. Beaver Dam about 40 minutes up the road if you take Highway 151 to the north. And then you've got The Division I championship separated a little further. You've got Oshkosh West. Oshkosh West located on the eastern part of the state, about midway up as you get closer to the Green Bay area, taking on Kenosha Tremper, located right on the border of Illinois. The Kenosha Tremper Trojans, the number 1 seed, heavy favorites here in this Division I championship, averaging 187 per game, 78% fill rate out of District 3A. They were the champions of the district, finishing 14-2 on the season. Oshkosh West, a 74% fill rate out of District 8A, finishing second in their district throughout the course of this season. Kaukauna finishing first. Pretty evenly matched, though, especially in Division II, Craig, because you got Tremper, who averages 187, West 178. And then in Division II, you've got Monona Grove 174, Beaver Dam 177. Should be great drama here in the girls' championship final matches.
This is what the entire year is led up to right now. State team finals, Wisconsin High School Club Championships here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. I like how it actually is. When you Google it, is Bowling Alley.
The Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. It's like Ohio State. The Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley.
I don't know what that team you just mentioned is.
I'm aware you're a Michigan man, right? Laughing at the paper makers earlier. Come on,
that's
Craig.
A great name. I like it. That's just a very unique. I had not heard of that one before.
It's out of the Fox Valley near the Appleton area, which I'm surprised we haven't been to Appleton for a state championship yet.
Maybe next year. First shot for Beaver Dam, a little bit left of target. Double wood, a tough spare to start things off here.
Beaver Dam coached by Joe Monroe and Jeremy Schwark. Home center Tower Lanes in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Monona Grove Silver Eagles, coached by Dave Gunterberg and Phil Dowling. They do their bowling at Village Lanes in Monona.
Takes care of that spare, no problem. She says, give me a challenge. I got that. And almost a missed 10-pin.
Beaver Dam with a mark, Kenosha Tremper with a mark. Can Monona Grove and Oshkosh West join them with spares in the first frame? First shot for Oshkosh.
Chop.
Whoa, that's a
You
chop.
can see that right away. Just a touch left to target, and the ball checked on her and takes that front pin out there.
MG takes care of business, though. 3 of the 4 teams mark in frame number 1 of the state championship matches. 2-game cumulative score. That's what we're playing for. Second shot for Beaver Dam comes up light, opposite side of the pocket, but a makeable spare with 3 in the middle. We see 2 in the middle for Kenosha Tremper. A bit slow out of the gates. Monona Grove keeping the winning ways, going after a spare. You make a strike, get the most out of it.
They definitely have momentum on their way. Beaver Dam, you saw the first couple of shots, left of target, little nerves early maybe. And you don't want to be down early in these matches, especially with what Monona Grove did to finish off that last match against Amherst.
Kenosha Tremper, coached by Jeremy Schultz, assistant Chris Graham. They do their bowling at Sheridan Lanes down in Kenosha. Oshkosh West, coached by Carly Bolter, do their bowling at Rev's Bowl Bar and Grill. So Beaver Dam with an open frame in the second. Monona Grove dealing with a bit of a washout over on the, well, not a washout, but three sitting on the right, or on the left side over on lane 8, as you see it on the right side of your screen right now on Bullstream TV. Difficult split for Kenosha Tremper, and that's now an open frame off of back-to-back spares. This is a real slow start for the defending state champion Tremper Trojans.
And that was a nice miss from Monona Grove. She missed far enough right where she didn't bring washout into play and converted that 3-count spare with ease.
Oshkosh West trying to make an adjustment over on lane 6. And a strike in the third will do so. Had a difficult spare that was made in the second frame after an open in the first. Started to lead you to think they might be in some trouble, but not the case. The Wildcats keeping their own. Monona Grove Dutch through 4. And meanwhile, spare attempt here for Beaver Dam on lane 7. It's going to be wide. It comes back. Oh, that's a good spare. Back-to-back strikes for Monona Grove in frames 4 and 5. Oshkosh West, big shot on lane 6. That's now 3 in a row for the Wildcats of Oshkosh West. Stringing strikes, Craig. We continue to talk about how much of an impact that makes in matches like this, and especially, as we talked about in the semifinals, Kenosha Tremper struggling out of the gates trying to figure out the lane. If Oshkosh West can accumulate some pin totals with a number of strikes in a row, that can give them a hefty advantage heading into game 2. Monona Grove doing the same thing over on lane 8. Oshkosh West with 4 in a row now on lane 6, as you just saw. Kenosha Tremper needs to find a line in a hurry. That's a good ball, just the ringing 10-pin.
The pace has definitely picked up to our match over in the D1. They're just going. They're a couple frames ahead, and they're just getting up on fire. And you saw that shot here for Beaver Dam. I think the coach just said, let's just get one right, and she did that. A little bit too far right, wash out in another open frame for Beaver Dam.
That's now 2 opens out of the first 4 for Beaver Dam. The number 1 seed entering this competition, averaging 177 a game out of District 6. South Central part of the state. Finished first place in District 6 with an 18-3-1 record on the season. But again, we talk about those fill percentages being oh so critical, especially in 2-game cumulative score totals like this. Beaver Dam 74% fill on the year, Monona Grove 71%, virtually identical as you get set for this match. 78-74 though is a clear advantage for Kenosha Tremper, but that being said, Tremper's already opened twice, Oshkosh West just once with 3 frames to go.
And a missed 10 pins, going to give a few pins back to Tremper, see if they can capitalize on it. Double here would be huge, and watch the momentum swing. If Tremper strikes here, you're going to hear some noise.
And that's what we hear. Back-to-back strikes, and here comes Kenosha Tremper, the reigning Division I state champions. Tremper defeated Oshkosh West in the championship match last year, so this is a full-on rematch in Division I.
And surprising we can hear much at all, but I can just hear the coach for Beaver Dam telling the team no more tugs. Get the ball right, give it room, let it do what it needs to. And how about that?
Well, coach says, and he shall receive a strike in the 6th, the first of the game for Beaver Dam. Oshkosh West needs to make this 10-pin. This is a big shot here in the 8th frame. Near silence here at the Ashwaubenon bowling alley, and that shot no good to the left. Back-to-back opens on single pin spares for Oshkosh West. That is a killer in a Baker format. Single pin spares will come back and bite you every time.
Yeah, you just give the lead right back to your opponent, just like that, back-to-back opens.
Difficult split for Beaver Dam over on lane 7. Yikes, look at that. Monona Grove capitalize. Nope. 8 count out of a strike. That's to start the 10th frame for the Silver Eagles. We had a strike for Oshkosh West after the 2 open frames in the 9th. Meanwhile, Tremper working on 4 in a row with 2 balls left in the 10th frame. Big run here late for Kenosha Tremper. Spare made by Monona Grove. That'll get an extra ball in the 10th. Kenosha Tremper, 8 count on the second ball of the 10th. We'll see what that brings their total to here in just a moment. Meanwhile, it's max 214 for Monona Grove with a strike. Beaver Dam, after an open frame in the 7th, has 3 frames yet to go. They're definitely a couple of frames behind Monona Grove. I always like that as a bowler, knowing what the other team's total was. It kind of lets you have a sense of, okay, we got to get this, and we're right back in it.
I think it depends on where you're at in the match. If you want to be ahead or behind, but for them right now, being behind is good. They realize they just need to punch here and get all they can. Try to get to at least 190 here, striking out in the 10th frame and close that gap as much as they possibly can.
Monona Grove finishes with a 212 in game number 1. Pretty good total for the Silver Eagles, 212. Beaver Dam back-to-back strikes, though. They can max out 190. That would be huge. Meanwhile, it's a flat 200 for Kenosha Tremper. You look at playing to the averages. Kenosha Tremper and Oshkosh West, each with 3 open frames, I should say, throughout their match here in game number 1.
Well, Beaver Dam can end up being only down 22. They have to take that as a win the way that this game started.
Absolutely.
They were in a world hurt early. Couldn't get the right side of the head pin at all. So another strike here in the 10th.
That is
give them a good chance.
Craig, that's the tough part about a team coming in cold for the championship match. You're warming up on your practice lane, and then you only get 1 ball on your actual lane that you're competing on here, and I don't like that.
And I think they all missed their targets left as well. But yeah, it's just kind of getting acclimated. You know, the lights are on down here. It's for all the, it's for all the marbles, as they say. And that was a big shot in the 10th. Look at the coaches; they're
relieved.
Neither one of these coaches are breathing the last 5 minutes here of this game.
Craig, unfortunately, I missed the Oshkosh West total in the D1 match. We'll have to see if we can get that.
204.
204 for Oshkosh West. Well, that's a tight one then. 204 to 200. Just a 4-pin lead for Oshkosh West as they head into the second of our 2 games for the championship.
And I'm telling you, even with Tremper being down, I give them the advantage now. Back-to-back opens, and they've got the momentum going in their way. Another strike here to give them 190. That's a big finish.
Haley Schwark, one of the best young bowlers in the state, with a huge turkey to close it out, 190. Beaver Dam strong to the finish to make it a game. Monona Grove 212, 190. They thought they'd have about a 50 or 60 pin lead until Beaver Dam stepped up in the final 3 frames. Wow.
Yeah, we all thought that for sure. What a finish, what a comeback. 22-pin lead for Monona Grove, 4-pin lead for Oshkosh West. The final game here, 2-game Baker totals in the D1 and D2 girls championships here at the Wisconsin High School Championships.
First ball for Oshkosh West was a strike to begin the D1 second game, and Kenosha Tremper with an 8 count. Now we had a split, though, for Oshkosh West, a nasty one over on lane 5.
And we will find out real quick here, Jesse, if that left lane here in the D2 finals, if the heads are gone a little bit, were those definitely tugs, or is there some early hook? We'll find out here with this first shot from Monona Grove and see what their ball does.
Well,
I think if she goes Brooklyn here on this shot.
That was tight for Tremper, but a strike nonetheless. Let's now check the Monona Grove ball, and it stayed outside.
Yeah, she was, I think Coach said make sure you get it right again. No question.
Always interesting to see the adjustments that are made, because now these are the lanes that the teams haven't warmed up on at all. And so you're coming in cold to these respective lanes as they've continued to break down. Not much bowling has gone on them, but enough where you start to have to make an adjustment. Who can figure it out preemptively, and who is going to be the reactive one that has to take an open frame to figure it out?
It's take your best guess and hope you execute and see what happens.
The mental aspect of bowling, not just the pressure and the emotion of it, but the actual smarts of the physical science of the game come into play here. That's a good shot for Beaver Dam. That's a line right there.
Too. I think she was a leadoff bowler in game 1. I think they moved around to the 2 spot.
That's a lineup adjustment, and that's where the coaches can start to identify things here in this championship match as well. Start to realign the bowlers. Most will just go with what your strongest 5 has been all season, ride that to the end. Takes a lot for coaches to decide to make a move in that lineup between games of a championship nonetheless. Open frame over for Oshkosh West.
Oh, and the same for Monona Grove, missing that 6-pin to the right.
Meanwhile, Beaver Dam with back-to-back strikes here into the 4th frame, and a 3rd. Here come the Golden Beavers. They're right back in it.
This match is dead even now through 2 frames. They made up that 22-pin deficit just like that.
All thanks to the big run at the end, and then 3 in the second, third, and fourth here of the second game of the championship match. Those back-to-back opens in frames 2 and 3 for Oshkosh West could come and hurt them here. Up by just 4 pins. Kenosha Tremper, after an open in the first with 4 straight marks, 3 of which are strikes, including a back-to-back heading into the 5th, but makeable spare, but an ugly one on the left side. It's a split by definition. 4 in a row for Beaver Dam.
Now, so you mentioned earlier you like to kind of see what your opponent's doing. Now I like the strategy for Beaver Dam. You know what? We got momentum. We're striking. We're just going to go run and hide. Come and get us.
That's absolutely right, Craig. If you're on fire, you got 4 in a row, your team is just amped up. You're feeling it. Sometimes you do have to call a bowler back and kind of just say, calm it down. You don't want to throw too fast, end up with something that goes way far to the right. I've had that before. But overall, you want to keep that momentum going. Don't wait for your opponent. Don't slow yourselves down. Keep going.
Let that horse run. Let him go. Yeah.
Big shot from Monona Grove here on lane 7. That's a strike. Much needed 3 in a row. Silver Eagles are right in this with Beaver Dam now. This is a tight game. You know, what's going on with Kenosha Tremper over here? They got an open in the 6th, 104 total. Oshkosh West over on lane 5 on the left as you see it with a 9 count. So let's check our totals here. 104.76 through 5 frames, but that's an open for Kenosha Tremper and now another split. This is a big opportunity for Oshkosh West to get this one close. Spare for Beaver Dam on the far right side of your screen. Monona Grove and Oshkosh West throwing simultaneously. Big spare for Oshkosh West. 7 count for Monona Grove.
Remember, Monona Grove had a 22-pin lead, so they give them 107 in the 4th. And spare here, they're still dead even through 6.
Now this is more what we expect out of a championship match, huh, Craig?
This is it right here.
Wow.
This is what makes it fun. And the split back-to-back opens now for Tremper as they were down 4.
Good spare for Monona Grove. Marks important as you get down to the crunch time here. Beaver Dam facing their own difficult spare over on lane 8. Let's check in on Oshkosh West. West with a split. Beaver Dam converted that spare. You saw it on the far right side. And now we switch over and see Monona Grove with a big shot here in the 7th frame.
And count, very important. Back-to-back 7 counts for Beaver Dam and a 7 count here. Well, this is still
They're still even.
Dead even. Yeah.
Unbelievable. They've been even since the 2nd frame.
Wow. Usually your 7 counts hurt you, but right now it's keeping them at 0.
Oh, Kenosha Tremper with momentum after back-to-back opens. A big strike in the 8th. So help me out here, Craig, in the D1 match here. Tremper can max out 43-73, 203.
Oshkosh West is down 6 in the match right now.
With 3 frames to go. Oh, wow. Big spare for Beaver Dam, crossing the lane, make it look easy. There you go. Monona Grove missed its spare, though, in the 7th frame. That creates some separation in the comeback effort for Beaver Dam. And Monona Grove, you can see the body language expressing just the momentum has been lost. Now it's panic time.
Yeah, they're down 11 now into the 8th frame. Need to make this spare to keep it within 11 with 2 frames to go.
Tremper, lefty, comes in, completes the spare. That's a big one in the 9th. Max 183 now for Kenosha Tremper.
And not an easy spare here. The 1-2-4-7 for Oshkosh West. Must make to keep it close.
Gotta get it, going across the lane, perfect. Boom, 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 boom. Spare. Spare over on 7. Monona Grove stays alive. Big single pin spare over on lane 8 for Beaver Dam. We'll catch that in a moment. Tremper with a strike to start the 10th. Down to the wire. Spare comes across the lane, and it's a good spare for Beaver Dam in the 9th.
If Oshkosh West strikes in the 9th, they cannot be shut out. They can both max at 183, but Oshkosh West is up 4.
Let's see. Strike Monona Grove in the 9th to stay alive. Let's take a look over the D1.
And that match is back to even.
Here's the big shot for Oshkosh West. It's a strike.
Anchor Bowl is going to have a chance.
Max 183 for both teams right now in the D1. It's a double for Kenosha Tremper, and it's going to come down to pin count in the 10th frame.
It is. Well, she forces a double, though. Oshkosh West has to double.
Strike for Haley Schwark to begin the 10th frame for Beaver Dam. A 9 count for Monona Grove, and that will all but seal it. The Beaver Dam Golden Beavers just won the Division II State Girls Bowling Championship. Now a strike to start it for D1 for Oshkosh West in the 10th. Tremper's final shot of the match. Pin count matters here.
What a 10th frame.
Wow. All
10th
three
frame.
in the 10th for Kenosha Tremper for a 183.
And that's the winning shot there for Beaver Dam. Just had to get at least one pin to stay behind the foul line. They did just that.
Beaver Dam wins the Division II championship. Now we'll go exclusively on D1. Congratulations to Monona Grove on a second place finish. Oshkosh West needs a strike on this ball to have a chance at the championship. Good ball, left a 7.
Wow.
Oh my.
Maybe just a little quick. She can't be upset. That was a good shot. Just maybe, if anything, just a little bit fast, but just heartbreak. And this is where you see the emotion set in. She got up, did what she needed to do, executed, hit her mark, and the 7 pin just didn't cooperate. And the place got really, really quiet really fast.
That's a difficult way for a season to end for Oshkosh West. Nothing to be ashamed of, though. Overall, a second place finish at the state championship for the Wildcats of Oshkosh West. Kenosha Tremper, though, comes from behind to win back-to-back state championships. Drama into the late frames in
I'm
both
not sure what
matches,
just happened
Craig.
there. That was
Unbelievable. That's why we love this competition.
That's why we love this. Back and forth, just rapid fire, strikes, spares, opens. I mean, it had everything, every range of emotion right there. And you know what, Jesse? We're not done. We've still got the boys yet to come.
Boys still to come, scheduled for a 1 o'clock start. Now, as we've mentioned before, Craig, they typically start the boys competition a little bit early. So
yeah, keep your stream open. We'll just
yes.
reset the window, but we'll just push live once they get practice going so you can get all set. Make sure you get your charged. And we got trophy presentations yet to do here, medals, trophies, and all that good stuff for our finalists here, these 3 teams in the D1 and D2. But the boys will get going, and just keep the thing going live and be ready because when they're ready, we're ready. But let's get some trophies, Jesse.
All right, Craig, thank you. We'll see you later for the boys.
Great stuff. And we're getting tables out there. You see they're coming on with the trophies. Our great people from the Bowling Centers Association of Wisconsin. Executive Director Yvonne Bennett. She's got the crew out there getting ready to do their work and hand out some hardware. And we'll do just that here in a quick minute. Thanks again, Jesse Nelson, ESPN Madison on the call here. And again, don't forget, we've got the boys yet to come. Don't go away. Hand out some hardware and get the boys ready here in just a minute for 2 more state titleists that will be crowned here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
incredible championship matchups in our girls team finals. Let's give a round of applause for all of the competitors here in this championship Sunday. All right, bowlers and teams, when I call your names, please come on up to our approach. You can receive your plaques and medals, and then we'll also take your picture on the far right side as well.
You do Division 2 first?
We will start with Division 2. Finishing in third place, ending a run of 3 straight state championships, Amherst.
Great tournament. Great job, Hank. We'll get your medals. Congratulations. Great tournament. Good job, Coach. Ross Black, Mr. Steve Soslovich.
Say that so well. Better than I did.
Get a good picture, guys. All right.
Let's hear it once again for Amherst. The 2019 Division II Girls Team State Runners-Up, Monona Grove.
Great tournament. Great bowling this weekend. Great tournament. Great bowling this weekend. Great tournament. Great bowling this weekend. Good job, Coach. Great job. There you go. Congratulations. Get your picture. Great job, Coach. Congratulations.
Once again, let's hear it for the runner-ups, Monona Grove. And the 2019 Division II Girls Team State Champions, Beaver Dam.
Great job, you guys. Great tournament. Great tournament. Great job. Congratulations. 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 Great bowling. Congratulations.
Wait, I gotta go one.
You gotta be. Congratulations. Great job, sir. Good job. Here's your scholarship certificate, trophy. Get a good picture with that. Great job, guys. There.
Let's hear it once again for the state champions in Division II, Beaver Dam. And now let's move on to Division I. Finishing in third place, Sun Prairie.
Great tournament this weekend. Great bowling this weekend. Bowling tournament. Great congratulations. Congratulations. Great bowling this weekend. Great tournament this weekend. Great job, you guys. Congratulations. Good tournament. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you again for all you do.
Oh, of course, thank you.
Thank you for all you
Yes,
do.
here's your flag.
Thank you for all you do.
Once again, let's hear it for Sun Prairie. The Division I Girls Team State Runners-Up, Oshkosh West.
Sorry, we tried to get to first place. Thanks, sir.
Great tournament. Great job. Great tournament, Charlie. Great.
Once again, let's hear it for Oshkosh West. And the 2019 Division I Girls Team State Champions for the third consecutive year, the three-peat for Kenosha Tremper.
Okay, congrats. Great tournament. Great tournament this weekend. Good job. Congratulations. Great tournament. Great tournament. Great tournament. Great ball this weekend. Coaches, great job. Congratulations. Thank you. You're welcome. Watch the court. Here's your scholarship and your trophy. Enjoy your picture. Smile lots.
Let's hear it one more time for the three-time defending state champion Kenosha Tremper Trojans. Thank you, everybody, for coming out for Championship Sunday here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. I want to once again thank the Bowling Centers Association of Wisconsin and USBC Representative Phil Laporte. Also, thank our sponsors, Storm, Classic Products, and Pepsi. We will likely be beginning the boys' championships a little bit early, so everybody can start filing, and we will likely be starting the boys' championships a little bit early. They were originally scheduled for 1 p.m. We don't have a definitive time, but we will start those a little bit early, so we'll communicate that as soon as we know. Once again, thank you, everybody. Today's broadcast of the state championships will be available both live and after the fact at Bullstream TV on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming out for the state championships.